From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, April 19th, 2021. As we look at the hazards map here, we are advisory free across the Prairie provinces. We'll take a look at the infrared satellite picture then next. And you can see the cold front that swept through on Sunday, making its way now through the upper Midwest and through the northern plains of the United States. Colder air filtering in. We've got some snow. We are expecting snow all the way down here in central Illinois. I'll mark that in white where I'm recording this video. This is very late for us to be talking about snow here, but this is quite the cold front. It's bringing a lot of cold air down with it and enough precipitation on the backside that, again, we're expecting snow all the way down into the Midwest of the United States. Now, much of the precipitation has made its way out of the Canadian Prairie here by Monday morning, but we're still looking at a few flurries. You can see some of those being picked up, especially across kind of western and southern portions of Saskatchewan, but all the way across, from Alberta into Manitoba. Don't be surprised by a few snowflakes today, but certainly much of the accumulating snow is a thing of the past. Now we'll look at the NAM model, the North American model. It is picking up on that chance for flurries behind the main front, which again you see well off to the south here by Monday morning. And as we put this into motion through the next 4 days, you can see we will be quiet Tuesday and Wednesday, but then you saw at the very end, we're looking at a very similar system here, or frontal passage as we get into Thursday. We're going to see another sharp cold front kind of move through the region, maybe not quite as sharp as the most recent one here, but it's going to do pretty much the same thing here, bring us some gusty north winds, and then also the chance for some light snow, some light accumulating snow as the front makes its way through, again, during the day on Thursday as it stands right now. So northwesterly winds here, not real windy as we head through the day today, but perhaps a little bit on the blustery side as we head through the afternoon hours. And as we get into Tuesday afternoon, those winds continue to subside even more, looking at calm conditions across central and southern Alberta with maybe some northwesterly winds anywhere from maybe 15 to 20 kilometers per hour across southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Now we'll look at the temperature anomalies here as we get started this week. Again, much of the cold air starting to push into the northern plains of the United States. We're going to see temperatures start to, let me jump back here. Temperatures will moderate as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday. That's what you're seeing here, those orange and warmer colors returning. But then you see here as we get into Thursday and Friday, the cold air returning to the region from the northwest. So this will be another downturn in temperatures as we get into the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now the reason for this is the jet stream pattern here on Monday morning. We're looking at our 500 millibar heights and anomalies. Got a big trough south of the Aleutian Islands, a big ridge across western Canada, and then another trough here across kind of from the Hudson Bay down to the Great Lakes in the upper Midwest of the United States. So the flow coming directly out of the Arctic right now across the Canadian Prairie, coming up and over the top of this ridge. And as I take the drawings off here and we just animate this map, you're going to watch this trough right here again over the Arctic, going to dive straight out of the north into the Prairie. That's going to be what's bringing the cold air here later this week. So here we go. We'll animate it. We'll come back here to Monday. This is as we get into Tuesday. And then now it's Wednesday. You'll see the system really start to dive out of northern Canada now, out of the Arctic, and then making its way into the Prairie as we get into Thursday. Now also a bit of a pattern change here as we get into the weekend. This ridge, which has been what's allowed the cold air to come down into the Prairie provinces here, it's really forced the cold air down into the Prairie provinces and blocked things up across the Pacific. Well, this ridge is going to start to get squeezed out of the picture here, and we're going to start to see troughs swinging in beneath that ridge into the western United States, and that's going to signal a pattern change across North America. As we talk about the next few days, though, we'll look at the European model, the wide view across North America. We'll bring it back to Monday here, just talking about those light snow flurries on the backside of our front from yesterday. High pressure slides in as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. Probably going to be, again, on the cooler side. We will warm some, but also going to be probably looking at some sunshine. So at least it'll be, sunny out there Tuesday and Wednesday for a lot of folks across the Prairie. And then as we head into Thursday, that's when we see that next system, that next front, start to dive into the region. So Thursday morning into Thursday night, from north to south across the region, that cold front swings in. We'll see temperatures trend a bit cooler. And then it's as we get into next week, we start to see the pattern shift. And while it's going to be a shift, let's talk first about precipitation over the next 7 days. I am getting ahead of myself and trying to talk about next week. But as we look at precipitation through the end of this week, this is the snow accumulation we're expecting, including Thursday's frontal boundary. And again, you see not real heavy and probably very similar to Sunday's snow. Sunday is in yesterday, seeing the better chance for accumulation the further west you get up against the mountains here into kind of western and southern portions of Alberta. So the next 3 days, pretty quiet across the region. And then as we get into days 4 through 7, this is when we have the Thursday frontal boundary. That's when we get the chance for the next round of scattered, probably going to be primarily snow showers across the region, and the chance for some accumulating snow greatest across western and southern Alberta. And then here's the pattern change. We're looking at days 1 through 5 on the left, and then days 5 to 10 on the right, the 500 millibar heights and anomalies. Here's your trough, the big ridge over the Pacific west of Canada, and then that's allowed flow to come out of the Arctic here, allowed that shot of cold air to come in around the base of the trough from the Hudson Bay down to the Great Lakes. Now, as we head into kind of days 5 through 10, the pattern change here is that we get rid of the big ridge across the Pacific, and we start allowing systems to swing in across the western United States through the lower 48, through the continental U.S. And so this is not going to signal a real drastic change in the sensible weather across the Prairie provinces. It's not going to be a dramatic shift with temperatures or precipitation, but it will keep chances for precipitation in the forecast as we head into the last days of April, the first days of May. As systems kind of swing in across the western United States, I think we'll be on the northern periphery here at times across the Prairie, picking up on some of that precipitation. So again, this doesn't signal a change toward a pattern that's going to just favor dumping on the Prairie over and over. It also doesn't signal a change that's going to be completely drying us out. It's going to be a shift toward a pattern that's much like we're seeing now, offering up opportunities for moisture across the region. The next 10 days split up 1 through 5 and then 5 to 10 here for temperatures. Largely going to be keeping things on the cool side here, though it'll be in the form of cold shots with warm-ups in between them, like we've seen over the last few days, like we're seeing this week. We saw the cold front yesterday. We're going to warm up slowly here as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. That next cold front arrives Thursday. We cool off again heading into the weekend. Probably going to be looking at similar situations like that as we continue on through the next couple of weeks. Isn't that just spring in the Canadian Prairie? Here you go, your temperatures over the next 10 days, highs and lows. Look at that, warming up as we head into Wednesday. Cold front arrives on Thursday. We'll warm back up as we head into the middle part of next week. Edmonton, a very similar look here, 18 for the high on Wednesday, 3 for the high on Thursday. Very similar here in Saskatoon, similar in Regina. And then as we head off into Winnipeg, very similar as well. You got the cold air in the region here today and tomorrow, warming up a bit Wednesday into Thursday. The cold front may be arriving a day later, with the colder air arriving on Friday as you head off toward the east. That's what I've got for you. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning.